Nanko, Dustin, what's going on, everyone? Welcome to Fantasy Smack Talk. In case y'all missed it, yours truly
big winner
won the fantasy games. You guys just can't seem to beat us. I don't know what's going on. Decent turnout last week, but if you haven't gone in there and played yet, click on Fantasy Games. Check out the action. Third one from the left. Sign up for our exclusive game where if you beat us, you win a t-shirt. But we haven't had to give out too many this year. So see if you can get in there and beat us. If you got any questions, post them in the forums. Don't post them on YouTube. We like to keep them all in one nice, neat, and tidy place in the forums. Brent, trade tips.
All right, so it's the time of year where everybody's trading. You know, people are trying to wheel and deal. Teams at the top are trying to get better. Teams at the bottom are trying to get to the top. So just a quick first tip that I'm going to be giving when sending a trade. You know, you'll know what kind of league you're in. If you're in a dummy league and you can really, kill somebody in a trade, sure, go ahead and try to send it. But most of our community, guys watching, you're not in those type of leagues. So when you send a trade, try to send a thinker, something that's it's a little bit nervous for you to send it, that they're going to accept it. That's how you know if it's a good trade. Obviously, try to upgrade it, but your first trade, you shouldn't just try to dominate and clearly win. People are just going to write you off and not even want to trade with you.
Guys and girls. Though.
And gals and young ladies out there.
One other trade thing that I wanted to point out. I mean, I've kind of mastered the 2-for-1 trade at this point.
Look at this guy.
I mean, do you disagree?
He's pretty good at it.
So you have to overpay normally when you want to do a 2-for-1 trade, basically where you're giving up 2 players to get one in return because you're getting that roster spot, so you're going to be able to go to the wire and get another person. One example of one I just tried to do, it got rejected, but I offered Adrian Peterson and Sean Green for Ray Rice. So the 2-for-1, 2 parts of the trade should be almost completely even. So Adrian Peterson, Ray Rice, that's not that far off. Then you're throwing in Sean Green to a team that needs depth at running back. So it makes sense for both sides. I get a slight upgrade at starting running back and lose a bench running back, and they get 2 running backs that they can put in their starting lineup. So keep that in mind too. Forum questions, BNelly35, Darius Moore at Kansas City, or Jeremy Maclin versus Atlanta. Brent, 71% are saying Darius Moore.
Well, Andy Reid coming off the bye's got some ridiculous record, so out of the two, especially if it's a PPR, we're leaning towards Maclin here. He's been playing a lot better. He's finally healthy, so you got to like that. I would understand in a standard league if you would go with Moore, but out of the two, personally, I'd probably be going with Maclin here. All right, Dustin, this one comes from Spitative. He's got a running back question. Doug Martin at Minnesota, Bradshaw at the Cowboys, or Ridley at St. Louis. 60% of the community is saying you got to go with the rookie Doug Martin here.
Yeah, I'm ruling Ridley out just because at this point it's turning into a standard New England running back situation. So Ridley I'm throwing out, so it's between Bradshaw and Martin for me. Martin has the tougher matchup. He has looked decent as of late, but I'm going with Bradshaw here. He can get involved in the pass and the run. I mean, not like Martin too, but I just like the matchup a little bit better for Bradshaw. And like Brent was saying before the show, Lee is out, so that could open up the middle of the field a little bit more for Bradshaw. It's a close one, but I like Bradshaw.
IDP player.
All right, last forum question from some KU fan 827. Defense question, we got Seattle at Detroit or Minnesota at home versus Tampa. 67% are saying Seattle.
As a guy that owns Stafford in a couple leagues, you gotta go Seattle. The Lions have been killing me. They haven't been playing well at all. They can't get their game going on the ground. Nate Burleson's now out. Everyone's, double teaming Calvin, and Stafford's, he's thrown some terrible balls this year. Seattle's a very, very good defense. They have big corners that are going to be able to press Calvin Johnson as well. So out of these two, I'm going to say go with the Seahawks. I don't see Stafford breaking out this week.
It's sleeper and bust time. Start with my sleeper, and it's going to lead us into the bet of the week. But I'm going with 2 Richardsons for my sleepers and my busts this week. My sleeper is Daryl Richardson versus the Patriots. I love him this week. I actually think he's a solid flex play. If you're in any type of bye week issues, I think he's a great play, especially in PPR leagues. I think he's a lock for 10 plus points this week. They really like him in the passing game. Steven Jackson's getting filtered out there. I think they feature him this week and really get a lot of plays to get the ball in his hand. And the bet of the week is 9.9.
9.9.
9.9. I'm taking the over, obviously. I really like his upside this week. And my bust is Trent Richardson going up against San Diego. Believe it or not, San Diego is the number 1 rush D in the league. You wouldn't necessarily think that, but they are. And he's battling a rib injury. There's a chance for him going out there trying to play through it, getting injured, and heading to the bench. So I'm benching Trent Richardson this week if I have a decent option instead of him.
My sleeper, and I'm taking a Jets wide receiver. I can't believe it with Mark Sanchez throwing the ball. But it's going to be Curly. They're playing the Miami Dolphins, who's ranked 28th versus a pass. Last week, Curly caught 7 balls for $120. He looked pretty good. To me, he's the clear number 1 target for Mark Sanchez. If you've got some bye week woes, deeper leagues, I think he's a great sleeper for you. Then my bust is going to be Michael Turner. I know he's been playing, a lot better than I actually expected this entire year, but he's got the Eagles. Like I said, Andy Reid always does really well coming off the bye. They have a new defensive coordinator, and teams always play well. It seems like week 1, and then they fall down the mountain after that. So for all of those reasons, and I just don't like Turner that much. For those 3 reasons alone, I'm calling Turner my bust.
All right, let's talk about Mike's picks. His sleeper, Titus Young, going up against Seattle. It's a little scary, but I can kind of understand it. Burleson is out now. A lot of attention's going to be on Calvin Johnson, and more than likely they'll be playing from behind if they do anything like they did Monday night against Chicago. That was pathetic. His bust is LaRod Stevens-Howlings going up against San Francisco. He's got a lot of stuff going against him this week. He's probably still going to be splitting with Powell a little bit. Tough matchup with San Francisco. Some people might be thinking about starting him after what he did last week, but unless you're in a big bind, probably want to keep him on your bench this week. So that'll do it for our Week 8 show.
Hold on, let me get my little side of the bet of the week.
Oh,
and why I'm saying he's not going to do it. It's in terms of this, I understand that Jackson is getting less and less carries, but Jackson is still the man out there. I think Jackson still gets the goal lines. We didn't do our standard 8.7 or 8.9 because actually I think they're going to be playing from behind, and Richardson does get in passing. So it's a little close, but I'm up right now. Dustin loves this guy, and he thinks he's going to be the big breakout star of the year. It's only a matter of time as soon as he takes a pipe to Jackson's knee.
Pick him up. Fancy Kerrigan.
He caught it.